Hello, it's been a while since I've done a fairy tale video, so I'll be doing one. So this one, I'll be doing a brief recap of 42 to 47. So some good things happened in this time frame actually. The first thing I want to talk about is which I found quite good actually. I found it as a good plot twist. So Toko, who's been wanting to see Natsu, her love, someone she has a crush on, and all of that. So they're confronted. We see she hugs Natsu, and that's how the panel ends last chapter. And this was a very good plot twist, actually. It's kind of funny, and it's very fairy tale like. So I really enjoyed the whole comedic aspect of it as well. But the plot twist was very good, actually. It caught me off guard as well. So she was caught, she was kidnapped, and she was stuffed in a barrel, and she could only see with her eyes. And she sees Happy and Natsu, and the way she perceived it was that Happy was riding a dragon, which is Natsu, and saving her. And apparently when she asked what was their name, she said Natsu, a fairy tale guild. So yeah, and so that's where the, what do you call it, what's the word, so that's where the confusion comes from. So she assumes that Happy is called Natsu, but the one she actually admires it's Happy. And then another big plot twist happened, which it threw me out the loop completely. Was she was a cat, and I was like, what? So so I don't know. It's kind of interesting actually. A fourth cat character now. So that's going to be interesting to add to all of it. And as soon as she turned into a cat, we see Happy. He looks like he's quite happy about all of that and seems quite attractive to her, as we see the classic blushing. And there was so much comedy gold in all of these chapters, which I really enjoy. Especially about Fairy Tail is the comedic aspect. So it's the part where Natsu says, "What about Sharla?" And he's like, "Who's that?" That made me laugh for reals. And then we also get the classic thing where Sharla sneezes because she's been mentioned. So I thought that line was very good. And yeah, that reveal was very. The whole plot was very. It's kind of funny. And it threw me completely off the loop. That was very surprising and a good plot twist, I would say. It doesn't really affect the story that much, but yeah, very good. So we get a bit more explanation in all of this, but we still surrounded with a bit of mystery about who the White Witch is, like, and why is she possessing a cat? That's another mystery that's still not solved, and eventually we'll find out sooner or later. But we now find out that Toka is a cat, and she transforms into a human because the White Witch is a human. So to look a bit more like a human, I guess. So yeah, we will get a bit more explanation, and that was pretty cool. And we also find out this new information about the White Witch as well. Apparently, she can't touch the orbs, so that's kind of how Natsu and Happy escape from her. Happy throws the orb at her, and her body kind of goes berserk, and we can see that she kind of grows trees out of her appearance and stuff. So I'm guessing she's absorbing the power of the tree dragon god too much, and it's going out of control. So I guess that's why she can't touch it directly herself. So that's quite interesting to know. So there's still a bit of mystery surrounding the White Witch, and and I can't wait to find out more. But at least we got a bit more information on who Toka is. And this looks like she could be a potential love interest for Happy, the way he was acting and stuff. So this could be Happy's, what do you call it? He could get a bit of a spotlight, especially for this arc. I'm guessing with the White Witch. So yeah, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. And then we also got a bit more of one of those it was very fan service fights. So it was Urza versus Loxus, and there's probably so many what ifs between these two, who would win. This was before the release of the 100-year chapters anyway. So now this has been answered, and I'm not happy with the result of the fight, to be honest. It seems a bit cheesy and stuff like that. So I wasn't a fan of the result of the fight, but the actual fighting was very good actually. I thought there was a lot of action panels. It looked very cool. A lot of cool move names, And we see there's a bit of growth in both characters, especially, and they both got new powers as well. So that was very interesting to see. And Loxus's red dragon form, that sounds very cool. Red lightning, and apparently the secret behind it is something to do with his blood. So that was pretty interesting. But oh my goodness, Urza can take a hit. She gets hit so many times, and she gets up every time. So yeah, Loxus versus Urza was a very entertaining fight. Actually, it lasted one or two chapters, which I did enjoy a lot. The fight was very good, and yeah, so we also now know that Urza can enchant her swords, and it was very cool actually. The way she enchants one with Natsu's fire and the other one with Grey's eyes. The fire and ice, the duo, and they fight. But what I thought was a really good touch by what you call it? I forgot who the artist in this is because it's not a Hero Mashima, right? I think he's only Superman. In the cover page, we see a picture of younger Ursa and younger Loxus, which really kind of pulls on the emotional strings, and shows how deep their what you call it bond and history is because they've known each other for a long time. So for them, these two to be fighting like that, it was quite crazy. And yeah, that was, and the conclusion. So it ends in a draw, which I wasn't happy with because it seems a bit cheesy, and it's actually very fairy tale like for it to end in a draw. But I wish there was a clear winner. But at least we found out that Loxus is as strong as Urza, so he's pretty up there. But the ending of the fight was I thought was very cool, and I liked it quite a bit when Urza just laughs when she's been defeated. Well, before we find out Lox is defeated as well. But when she just laughs, and because she was worried that Fairy Tail, the defense line of Fairy Tail would be very weak since that the main cast have gone on the 100-year quest, and I was like, yo, put some respect on Laxus's name. So that's pretty much what happens. So we know now she learns that she's that the Fairy Tail are in good hands because Loxus is there to provide support. That was pretty cool. But I still feel like the strongest members of Fairy Tail would have to be it's got to be Natsu now, especially with especially after he beat Zeref and Acnologia, it's got to be him. That's the strongest Fairy Tail member, and I say maybe Grey would be one of them as well, because especially with his Demon Slayer form as well. Puts him over the top. So yeah, that fight was very entertaining. Two of the top Fairy Tail members fighting, very good. Okay, so enough talking about that. Um, what else happened afterwards was okay actually. I thought so. The fight between Mira Jane and the what do you call it the siblings versus the armored dragon and the sand dragon. So they kind of just fall back actually. You know, yeah, they just fall back. So I was like kind of funny because I don't know, I was kind of expecting a good fight, but they're kind of hyping up Mira Jane's power level as well because she's quite strong as well. But because of the dragons, they decide to fall back. I forgot why they fall back, but I think it has to do with the destruction of one of the other orbs. I forgot who destroys the orb, but one of the orb gets destroyed, so they all fall back because they can't deal with all these wizards at once. So they kind of regroup, but there were some more funny elements in all of this. Another funny moment, which I thought was hilarious, was when they were talking about ways to defeat Mira Jane, and we see what's it called, Lucy talking about, oh, what about Elfman? Just kind of disregarding Elfman's strength and everything. That was pretty funny because that is true. Elfman, he's strong, but he's nowhere near Mira Jane's level. He's not really a threat, to be honest. But and another funny part was um after the dragon slaves leave, we see that Gray's he says I think I can beat Mira Jane now. She's injured as well, and the comments said by the other members was very funny as well, which I did enjoy quite a bit. So with them, I can't wait to see how that fight goes down. But so we also learned that this Ash Dragon, I thought that Ash Dragon was the leader of this guild, but he's not even the master because he says the master will be disappointed if we tell him any more news. And we also learn about these guys aren't even like anywhere near the top level because there's a group called the Black Slayer Core Cavalry, Black Dragon Slayer Cavalry. So I'm guessing the elite of the guild. So that's quite interesting to see them as well. I don't know. I thought these guys. So these guys are just like the run of the mill, I guess. And there's an elite group as well. And we also learn about Dragon Force. So the guy that Wendy was fighting, uh, he has Dragon Force as well. But apparently, Dragon Force in the, what do you call it? The fifth generation Dragon Force, which is what these guys are, is different to what the Dragon Force Wendy uses. And when he uses it, apparently it's forbidden to use it in the guild. So the rest of the members are just they're done with him and they leave him be. And he transforms and he looks a bit like Venom, to be honest. He looks all buff because he was skinny and frail before. Now he's all buff and that. And he completely destroys Wendy very easily, to be honest. Very easily. It's kind of crazy how easily he beat her. But he destroys her. But then Wendy's kind of backed into a corner, and we see a bit of a monologue from Wendy, which was quite cool actually. And it shows a bit of self-reflectment of Wendy. You know how she's talking about how she's always felt like she's been weak, and she's disappointed in herself because she thought she was powerful, but she's not. And she's been hanging around with Natsu and everyone a long time, so she feels like she needs to be stronger. And because she's always around them, she feels overconfident. And it's very cool to see a character think that she's too overconfident. And it shows that she has room for growth, and now she knows that never be complacent about stuff like that. And we see this very cool power up at the end actually. And Wendy got a power up as well right at the end. It was and that threw me off the loop as well. So we see her channel a form which is oh my goodness, what's she called? The Scarlet Woman form. So she looks like Urza's mum, because because of the one time she got possessed by her. So that was pretty cool to see. And I can't wait to see how powerful she'll become in this new form. So yeah, a Wendy spotlight is definitely something I want to see as well. That'd be very cool to see. So I'm just scrolling through the chapters, trying to find out which was the chapter in um which the orb got destroyed, because I remember one of the orbs got destroyed, but I'm not sure who destroys the orb. So I'm just flicking through the chapters real quick to see if I can find out for you. But yeah, I want to say I thoroughly enjoyed the chapters I read. There was a lot of action which I enjoyed, and the pacing is also very good in these few chapters. It didn't feel slow or anything. A lot of plot is happening at the same time, and it doesn't feel too rushed either. I thought the fight was a good length, and we also learned some new plot details. But yeah, it was very good actually. I don't really know what to say. I can't really think of any faults at the moment. But I gotta say this whole okay, so the person who destroys the orb is the woman who Loxus beat earlier. I forgot which dragon she is. I want to say she's the store sword dragon or something. I don't know which dragon slayer she is, but she's a dragon slayer. So yeah, she destroys it. But the one thing I'm not happy about is the fact that these guys are retreating. Like, why would they retreat right now? But I guess it's kind of plot convenience that they're retreating, because there's too many enemies. But are we gonna see the Black Dragon Slayer cavalry later or not? That's one to see as well. So yeah, these chapters are pretty good. So Irene, that's what she's called. So it's her Irene mode is gonna be quite crazy. I want to see how that's gonna fare against the fifth generation Dragon Slayer guy anyway, Nebel. So yeah, I can't wait to see what that fight's gonna be like. So yeah, these few chapters that I read was very good. And what more can I say? Bye.